Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathsala. I am Dr. Nandakumar from TERI. Today we are going to talk on module composting and vermiculture under the paper environmental biotechnology. So what are the learning objective under this particular module is what is composting process and its application, different raw material or waste used in composting process, vermiculture and vermicomposting methods, and role of microorganism in composting process, applications and its advantages. So what is composting? So composting is a process in which decomposition of organic matter takes place. So in this case there are different solid organic waste are used. So these solid organic waste are accumulated over the year due to urbanization, industrialization and mechanical agricultures, which also causes adverse effect on environment. That is, it will generally release greenhouse gases, methane and other toxic gases, so which create extraordinary economic as well as environmental problems. So mainly 70% of municipal waste is normally organic waste, which causes smell, that is odor, as well as leachate, gas and stray animals in landfill. Also, recycling at source is most economic and environmental friendly method of waste management. So this solid organic waste generates in different stages of commercial as well as industrial activities. So non-hazardous, generally these organic waste are divided into two categories, that is non-hazardous waste as well as hazardous waste. So most of the non-hazardous waste can be used in composting process. These non-hazardous waste are generated from municipal solid waste, industrial waste and agricultural waste. What is composting? So composting is a very interesting as well as very important process where decomposition of organic waste by different microorganisms. There are different raw material like animal waste, food garbage, municipal waste and suitable industrial waste like sugarcane, bagasse waste and different industrial waste can be used as a raw material for the composting process. So these enhance their suitability for application to soil as a fertilizing resources. So generally it helps in improving physicochemical and microbiological property of the soil and resistant to stress such as droughts, diseases and toxicity. This compost helps the crops improve uptake of plant nutrients and also act as an active nutrient cycling capacity because of vigorous microbial activity. So what is the process of composting? Generally, different organic matter in containing water on under aerobic condition, this microbial process, this under the controlled condition, this organic matter convert into compost and end product includes water, heat and carbon dioxide. So based on the nature of decomposition, this composting process takes place under two different conditions, that is aerobic condition and anaerobic condition. Anaerobic conditions takes place in the absence of air, whereas aerobic conditions which occurs in the presence of oxygen. Generally, aerobic microorganisms play a major role in aerobic degradation of organic material, that is complex organic waste, into smaller particles of rich nutrient biofertilizer, which produces carbon dioxide, ammonia, water and heat as well as humus as a stable organic end product. This during the process, heat generated and accelerated the breakdown of protein, fats and complex hydrocarbons such as cellulose and hemicellulose. We will be going to discuss more detail about the decomposition process in later. So what is anaerobic process, which generally takes place in absence of oxygen? So there are different microbial communities which play a crucial role in anaerobic degradation of these complex waste, organic waste, and generally these anaerobic process have long processing time, whereas in organic composting process it is a very good composting process, and most of the commercial as well as general composting process takes place in aerobic condition. So what are the process, what are the different stages of composting or organic biofertilizer generation? So if you take any industries or commercial activity which generates huge amount of waste that consists of different part of solid as well as gases, non biodegradable waste, which is not segregated sometime and it is disposed directly to different landfill system. But for the systematic composting process, we require systematic collection, segregation, and preparation of proper raw material for the composting process. So this particular composting process starts from the waste collection, where we have to segregate degradable organic material separately that will be transported to the composting site, where the suitable composting pit will be prepared. Then if large size of organic or waste material present, we have to make it uniform by using any equipment or shuttering process. Then it will be loaded and under controlled condition. So there are different type of parameters, that is optimum conditions required to make a very good rich organic manure within shorter, that is standard time of period. So after a controlled composting process, this will be again separated and large particle will be sieved, and the final end product will be packed in a standard pack, and it will be commercially used for agricultural purpose. Basic components and influential factors of composting. So generally this composting process influenced by the different important environmental factors like nutrient balance in the feedstock, particle cycle, size and moisture content, oxygen flow, temperature. So it is very important to maintain carbon and nitrogen ratio in order to complete the composting process within shorter time. So generally carbon and nitrogen ratio should be around 30:1. This is ideal and optimum condition. This can be done by balancing between the high green nitrogen containing grass chippings, food scraps and manure, and brown dry leaves, that is wood chips and branches, organic materials. Next one is particle size. So this is very important, where this raw material should be grinding or chipping or shading materials can be used to increase the surface area on which microorganism can easily grow. Then homogeneous compost mixture and improve pile insulation to help maintain the optimum temperature. When size of the raw material is ideal, then it creates an insulation kind of layer above the surface of compost pile, then it create the optimum ideal condition for the temperature maintenance. Then third one is moisture content. It is always to maintain around 40 to 60%, which is ideal moisture condition to enhance the growth and cultivation of different group of bacteria, which also helps in transport of substances within the compost pile and makes the nutrient in organic material accessible to the microbes. It eventually helps in growth of microorganisms. Oxygen flow. Aerating the pile allows the decomposition to occur at the faster rate than anaerobic condition. Generally in anaerobic condition, this decaying of organic matters takes place. So it is very important to maintain the oxygen flow within the system, that is composting system, by using different bulking agents like wood chips or shredded newspapers help in aerating the pile. Then another one factor is temperature. This is very important factor where microbes can withstand different temperature range within the compost pile. So certain temperature promote rapid composting and destroy the pathogens as well as weeds. So there are different phases of temperature within the composting system. So when solid material or whatever waste organic solid material placed in the biopad will be initially established, or different bacterial strains will be grown in moderate temperature of 10 to 40 degree. In this condition, that is which will take place in the 0 to 10 days, where all the major organic compounds degraded and converted into simpler form. Then after period of 10 to 20 days, the thermophilic phase, that is high temperature of around more than 40 degree, it will be good for cultivating thermophilic temperature, that is thermophilic bacteria in the system, that is composting pile. After 10 to 15 days, that is after 25 days of composting process, again mesophilic phase will be take place. So in this condition, again temperature reaches to less than 40 degree. So these three phases of temperature is very important and ideal for the composting process. These three temperature range will be maintained with use of other influential factor like moisture, pH and particle size, even other factors. What is the ideal optimum conditions for the composting process? Any composting process is required optimum condition to complete the compost within very shorter time. So generally moisture will be within range of 45 to 60% and temperature should be in the range of 40 to 60, where mesophilic as well as thermophilic bacteria grow easily. Then carbon and nitrogen ratio should be in the range of 30:1 and oxygen should be above 10% and bulk density should be 1000 lbs. Then pH should be around within the range of 6.5 to 8. In composting process, microorganisms play a very crucial role in the degradation of organic matter. So under suitable condition, different microorganisms like bacteria, fungi and actinomyces play a important role in degradation of complex waste into simpler form of humus material, which is called biocompost. So generally aerobic bacteria play a very important role in composting process, which is survived in different conditions as well as different environmental stress as well. So These aerobic bacteria are divided into three different classes, that is mesophilic bacteria and thermophilic bacteria. In composting, generally mesophilic bacteria evaluate and are it grow abundantly during the initial process, which is help in degradation of organic matter and produce acid and carbon dioxide during the initial stage. That during this time, due to the degradation process, a significant amount of heat will be generated that again will help in decomposition of these complex waste. So generally mesophilic bacteria live between the temperature of 10 to 40 degree, whereas next stage is thermophilic bacteria, where mesophilic bacteria growth will be reduced, then mesophilic bacterial population growth will be increased. This time temperature of the compost pile will be around 50 degree. So this more that highly temperature condition even help in removal of weeds as well as pathogenic bacteria in the compost. After mesophilic thermophilic bacterial activity in the compost process, again the temperatures starts reduce due to conversion of these organic matter, the degradation process. Then again mesophilic bacteria grow abundantly and it will indicate the completion of composting process. Other than bacteria, that is different type of mesophilic and thermophilic bacteria, actinomyces and fungi have a very important role in degradation of complex material like lignin, cellulose, starches and proteins. These actinomyces and fungi have a very good role in decomposition of these complex material, and it act in the temperature of optimum 27 to 30 degree. So there are two different production of composting process, that is in small scale production of compost and large scale production. Generally many people used to do composting process from their daily household wastes also, and different industries like. So what is the different scale of production of compost? So in general, this compost will be produced in different conditions and different level, that is different size, based on the organic matter, that is organic waste availability. So generally in household waste, it will be all the waste generated will be processed or composed in small scale, whereas industrial or some agro industrial waste will be processed in large scale level. So generally aerated or turn windrow method is a very common method in India. Their ideal pile height is between 4 and 8 feet with a width of 14 to 16 feet. So in this case, large volume of diverse wastes, that is yard, grease, and liquid and animal byproducts like fish and poultry waste can be processed. In this process, windrow composting process, generally this is a windrow, that is turning of windrows rows will be takes place through mechanical mixtures. So periodically every 2 days gap, these compost pile will be turned. So when during this condition oxygen will be circulated and hot zone of pile will be mixed with cool zone, and the aerobic condition will be maintained uniformly. During this process CO2 will be released as the end product. What is aerated static pile system? This is another composting system which will be employed in commercial level, where aerated pipes, that is different artificial pipeline will be placed bottom of the compost pile above the pumping, that is aeration tube. The raw material, different solid organic waste will be placed, and through the pipeline pump, that is the aeration will be circulated, where uniform homogeneous mixing of organic matter takes place. So this will be worked in large quantity generators of yard trimmings and compostable municipal solid waste. What is vermicomposting? Generally in composting, microorganisms play a important role, whereas vermicomposting, earthworm and microorganisms play an important role in the degradation of organic waste into biofertilizer, which is having a huge demand in market, as well as it is very good biofertilizer for the cultivation of organic products. So in these conditions, earthworms first fragment or condition the organic matter, that is degraded into a smaller size, that is like mechanical blenders. So generally earthworm, that's why called as the bioreactors, where all the organic matter fragmented and engulfed in the system, that is within the earthworm, then it is digested with the aid of enzymes that we will be discussing in later slides. Then these further degraded, decomposed fragments is easily digested or degraded by the use of different aerobic and different microorganisms. Generally, this vermicompost is highly nutritive compared to any other compost material. These nutritive biofertilizer have 4 to 5 fold more powerful, that is more nutritious than conventional compost, and this very superior to chemical fertilizers for the better crop growth and safe food production. This is very important in the present situation, where we are using huge amount of inorganic fertilizer and non-bio fertilizers. So economically and environmentally preferred technology over the conventional microbial degradation and composting technology as well. So in this, again, vermicomposting process, where the organic raw material, that is segregated systematically as we discussed in the composting process, and additionally along with composting process, here earthworm will be cultivated and used as a main source of composter, that is where earthworm will act as a bioreactor, where it convert all the organic waste into nutritious biofertilizers. So whatever conditions and environmental, there is different optimum influential factors, everything is same for both composting as well as vermicomposting. Here these worms also used for removal of different raw materials in different stages. What is the mechanism behind earthworm action during vermicomposting? So generally earthworm, first it will act as a grinding, that is grinders. It will ingest these waste within the system, that is inside the earthworm, and with use of muscular gizzards, which will help in grinding the waste, followed by enzymatic action will take place, where worm secretes different kind of enzymes, that is proteases, lipases, amylases, cellulases and chitinases in gizzards and indiges, which convert cellulosic and proteinaceous material into waste organics. Also, this worms promotes the growth of beneficial decomposer microbes, that is bacteria, actinomyces and fungi in waste biomass. There are different earthworm species used in vermicomposting and of solid organic waste. So these different researcher in different period, they studied what are the different effective, that is very active earthworm for the specific uh, waste material. So generally in India, Yersinia fetida, which is very common earthworm and which will be used in all the common waste solid waste. There are different optimum range of temperature which help in growth of earthworm species. Generally, Eutryllis eugeniae, which is very commonly used earthworm in India, which thrive in the range of 25 to 35 degree temperature range. So now we are going to discuss about vermicomposting methods. It is very interesting that vermiculture is a art of culturing work where vermic worms, earthworms will be cultivated in large scale or small scale level. So this will be employed during the vermicompost process. So it start with bed preparation, where bed method widely used for vermicomposting, as well as in this method there are thin layer of sanitized or partially matured compost will be placed in the vermiculture bed, and after that a thin layer of earthworms, maybe some limited number of earthworms placed in this partially degraded or matured compost. After this earthworm, the new layer of waste are applied to the bed on a regular basis, and the earthworms move upward the waste and it regularly feed that waste and convert into very smaller particles, which again further degraded or enriched by different aerobic bacteria. So this earthworm number in later stage it keep increase with application of continuous layer of waste. Further, the earthworms are then harvested or bed are divided. So this harvested earthworm can be done through mechanical harvesting process as well, or screens, different type of screens will be used. So after the period of completion of degradation process, I mean after production of matured compost, these top 100 to 150 mm, that is completed compost bed soil, will be removed regularly and it will be used for different agricultural application purpose. Then whatever earthworm generated, that again cultivated can be further used in different beds. So students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. So here we have discussed what are the different compost preparation method and vermiculturing method, and how it will be applied in different raw material or waste solid organic material, and it will be how systematically converted into useful biofertilizer. This is a composting and vermicomposting is a very ancient, eco-friendly and environmental viable technology for the management of solid waste and production of quality biofertilizers. Helps in sustainable agriculture development. Thank you.